Welcome to another segment of Natural Healing. I'm Dr. Padu, the Director of the Foundation for Natural Healing, and I'm very excited tonight about our guest. Our guest tonight is Wildman Steve Brill. Wildman Steve is a naturalist, an artist, educator, environmental activist. He also leads foraging expeditions into the parks in and around New York City, identifying edible plants and herbs, and also making us aware of our ecology and ecosystem. Steve, welcome.
Hi, really happy to be here.
Tell me, I'm sure that all our viewers are going to want to know this question. Why are you called Wildman Steve?
Well, I thought of the name while I was meditating back in 1981 to get people more interested in what I'm doing and to get into the environment, enjoying the renewable resources and protecting the non-renewable ones. We are creatures of the earth. We're adapted by millions of years of evolution to be able to thrive on the most natural foods that are growing everywhere. And people who start incorporating natural wild foods into their diet get tremendous, tremendous health benefits.
I see. So why do you lead these field trips into the wild, so to speak?
I want to show people what's there, what they can gather, what they should not gather, and how they are part of it all. We're in an environmental crisis. We're also in a health crisis, and the two are related. We're polluting the air and water, causing rare species to become extinct, and causing ourselves to become extinct by the way we eat and the way we live. This is an alternative, and it's a tremendous amount of fun to go out there. Instead of seeing millions of green things everywhere, you see a parsnip and a burdock root and caffeine-free coffee, rose hips, dandelions, wild carrots, mullein. You know what all these things are. You know what plants to bring home for the dinner table, and you know which mushrooms to feed your in-laws.
Well, I imagine. You have to be a little careful about what you eat.
Oh,
it?
definitely.
So what you pick out there in the wild.
Or what you pick in the supermarket. You can't go into the wild and just put anything into your mouth. And you can eat any wild plant, but some of them you can only eat once because you won't be around the next day.
I can understand that. By the way, you just mentioned here that we had some, is this coffee, huh?
Yes, this is from the Kentucky coffee tree. It grows all over the South, grows in New York City too, but it has to be planted. It doesn't propagate naturally. And when you open it up, you have these seeds inside. And these look like they've been inside a little too long and have gotten moldy.
Right.
But when you get this fresh, you wash off the seeds, you roast them in the oven, and then you grind them in the blender and put them in your coffee maker, and they make a caffeine-free coffee substitute. They are very, very good. They're poisonous raw. You do have to roast them. You roast regular coffee too. And these grow in Central Park in very great abundance. Picking them off the ground certainly doesn't harm the tree or the ecosystem. On the other hand, getting coffee from Central America, where they're cutting down the rainforests and where only the owners of the plantation are making money, and there's no land left for the poor people, and there's only cash crops, there's no food crops for the people there. That way you are harming the environment. And people wonder why there's so few birds left around. It's because they fly south to the winter. In Central America, instead of finding the rainforest, they find ranches for cattle for Burger King, and they find condos and no trees anymore.
Yeah, it has to be a change. Now, I notice a lot of other strange-looking plants here. Can you identify some of them for us?
Sure. Well, I'll start with the biggest one. This is a wild parsnip. It's a garden escape. Apparently in the middle of the night when no one's looking, it tiptoes through the tulips from someone's garden into the parks. Well, the seeds spread, and it starts growing in parks. This was growing in Marine Park where it's sandy and it's easy to dig up. Notice I didn't get the whole root, which means the rest of the plant regenerates. You want to be very careful harvesting root vegetables. There have to be thousands of them there, and they have to be weed plants that are very prolific and very common because you don't want to make anything extinct.
Right.
Otherwise, you won't have anything the next year, and it will just be a detraction from the ecosystem. And this looks sort of coarse, but when you slice it up and put it in soups, it is much sweeter and better tasting than the commercial parsnips.
Okay, you have burdock root there, I see, as well.
Yes, yes. This is burdock root. It is a wonderful detoxifier as well as a vegetable. You boil this like a potato in soups and stews. You steam it. You can even grate it and saute. It is very, very good. It also is an indicator plant, and people who are into macrobiotic nutrition absolutely love burdock. It's supposed to be right in the middle of the yin and yang. So the way you can tell if someone is secretly a practitioner of macrobiotics is bring them into a park where there's burdock root growing, and if they fall on the ground and start clawing,
that's it, huh?
you know. It's a very deep root. It's a very hard one to dig up, and again, I didn't get the whole root. The burdock is still thriving. It comes from Asia. The seeds stuck to the clothes of the immigrants, and once it got to North America, it sort of took over. And you dig and dig and dig and dig and pull, doesn't come up. There's probably a hungry Asian on the other end pulling in the other direction.
Anyway, Steve, moving right along. Did you find this walnut
This
here?
is, yes, this is a black walnut.
Black walnut,
Yeah.
right here in this local area?
Yes, it grows in Central Park, it grows in Forest Park in Queens, it's in Van Cortlandt Park, it's in Prospect Park. It comes surrounded by a green husk, and the husk smells lemony. It's a beautiful smell for us. Unfortunately, it's a horrible smell if you're a flea. And I did have people coming over to me. They had so many fleas. They had taken in a new cat, and the fleas were jumping on the furniture and jumping on the sofa and jumping on the rug, and the people came over, Mr. Brill, we have fleas. Can you find us black walnuts? They had practically turned into fleas. I found them the walnuts. They scattered the husk all over their apartment, and the fleas departed. Until the next year, they brought the cat to the vet and it got new fleas. And they were over again, hopping up and down with anxiety. But this apparently, the husk works for fleas. You can also boil it and put it on fungus infections. It's supposed to be one of the best treatments for fungus infections. It also contains a dye that they used to use for dyeing clothes. And if you handle the fresh walnut with the husk around it without gloves, your fingers will be dyed brown for a couple of weeks. Now you crack this open. It's a hard nut to crack, so you use either a heavy-duty nut cracker or a hammer or a vise. I used to work for the city, so you can always go to New York City and find plenty of vise. The nut inside is very, very delicious. It's full of omega-3 fatty acids, which prevent heart disease. It tastes great. It has minerals, magnesium, manganese, iron, and potassium. It's a different species from the commercial English walnut. And I find it tastes much, much better. A little goes a long way. Of course, you find the walnut tree, you get shopping bags of the walnuts, and again, doesn't harm the environment.
Okay, it can also be used for parasites, you know?
Yes, yes, definitely. You boil the husk and drink some of the tea. It's supposed to get rid of parasites.
Well, Steve, this sounds like we all should be aware of what's going on around us and the vast resources that are right in our gardens, right in the parks and so forth.
Of course, and people walk down the street, they see a car, they know it comes from Detroit or nowadays from Japan, and there's tires on it and there's a windshield. People go into the park, they see all these green things. They may recognize a tree, but they have a hard time telling a tree from a shrub or a dandelion from poison ivy. We've become really environmentally illiterate, and these are just the times where we need to learn about the environment because the politicians certainly aren't going to protect our life quality and our planet. It's up to us. We have to learn what's out there, how to use it, where it's growing, what the various indications of environmental health and environmental disease are, so that we can create the changes to make a beautiful planet again.
Right. So when you forage like this, you're not simply getting food. You're also getting vital herbs and nourishing substances. Is that right?
Definitely. And people who study foraging, it does take a bit of experience and instruction, come to love their environment a lot more than the couch potatoes that just sit on their rear end and watch nature shows on TV about nature in Africa or on the Rocky Mountains. The people that are out there, they want their dandelion patches pure and preserved. They want to go and get their field garlic every year. These are the people that are going to be protecting the habitats.
Fine. Steve, are these trips, are they available, these field trips, are they available to children as well?
Yes, I have field walks every Saturday and Sunday for the general public, including children, in and around New York City. And I'm always available for school classes or private groups to do things with children. I do educational art shows with sculptures and illustrations as well. And I'm available. Anyone who wants to learn about the environment with me, I'd be happy to work with them.
Wonderful. How would one get in touch with you?
You can give me a call at 718-291-6825 or send a stamped self-addressed envelope to Wildman Steve Brill, 143-25 84th Drive, Apartment 6C, Jamaica, New York, 11435. Send me a stamped self-addressed envelope. I'll send you the schedule of tours of the Foragers Field Botany course for both this year and next year. And if you study with me, you'll be able to become a very, very knowledgeable amateur naturalist.
Okay, field botanist, huh? And field botany course.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure we can get right into that when we resume after this short break that we're going to have in about a moment.
Fires come from?
People in the National Guard and Reserve make up over 40% of our nation's combat-ready forces. It's a job that requires them to face some very big challenges. So please, don't make their biggest challenge asking you for time off to do their training.
Mr. Aldridge, you, got a minute?
Be a hero. Give your employees the freedom to protect ours.
Steve, what about this this botany course that you offer?
I teach a Foragers Field Botany course at Wetlands Cafe, 161 Hudson Street in Manhattan. That's right off Canal Street on the west side. Very, very easy to get to. We meet every other week. In 1991, it'll be Wednesday evenings from, I believe it'll be from 6 to 8. And I teach you how to use field guides so you can go into the woods and identify the fruits and trees and shrubs, the wildflowers and herbs, the mushrooms and all of the edible plants. And we cover different topics in depth, everything from winter survival foods to herbology and mushrooms to how trees work to what is particular to the seashore. And seashore is a wonderful wild habitat that people who live in the country do not have. Do New Yorkers or New Jersey people go to the seashore and try to study what's there? very few do, and it's something we should appreciate. There's more to do there than just go swimming.
Right. Now, how much could a person learn by attending these classes?
Well, at the end of this series, they will be at home in any natural environment in the east coast of North America, and they will know and have the skills to use field guides for other areas. They'll know the folklore of the plants, they'll know some of the science and chemistry, and how the plants fit into the environment. I'm very proud of some of the students who have been studying with me. One woman studied with me a couple of years ago and quit her job and is now taking every course in the New York Botanical Gardens and is becoming a professional botanist. Another person went and started teaching at wilderness survival schools where they teach you to make fires and find your way in the woods, and she's teaching people the edible plant part of the course. And a lot of people are working with environmental organizations, but it's not just politics. They actually know what's out there and how the ecosystems work. So I'm very, very excited and proud about the results of the courses I've been teaching.
These courses will actually teach a person how, if necessary, should it become necessary, they can survive, say, in the wilds of Central Park.
Well, it's necessary now. The food most people are eating is doing them in.
Yes.
The chemicals, the sugar, the salt, the fat, people are not living the lifetime they're supposed to, and they are sick and on drugs for a large portion of their lifetime. So I think it's already a matter of survival. We have to clean up our act and start taking positive actions, both socially and environmentally, so that we continue to have a beautiful planet and people and children in the future can really thrive.
About what percentage of your diet do you augment with the wild plants and herbs?
Probably about half of my diet. All my mushrooms come from the wild.
And I tasted, by the way, one of your mushrooms.
The honey mushroom,
delicious.
which is on my shirt. Yeah, that is a delicious, delicious mushroom. It kills the trees, but that's when the ecosystem is weakened and the mushroom tends to really take over. About half my fruits and vegetables come from the wild, and maybe 10% of nuts, seeds, and herbs. I have a whole closet full of medicinal herbs, but because I eat a natural diet, I never get sick, so I never get to use them.
You never need them. That's the better way. Yeah, prevention.
This stuff prevents you from getting sick. This is what our ancestors lived on for hundreds of thousands of years before the first Big Mac rolled down the assembly line, even before the first farm was invented. And people in non-technological societies that live on natural foods may die of parasites or infectious diseases or being killed by wars or other violence, but they don't have the heart disease, they don't have the rates of cancer or any of the other problems. And if they do get these illnesses, the people that are living in the rainforests, be they South America or Borneo, and we are cutting down these forests and destroying our heritage at a very, very alarming rate. These people, through thousands of years of experience, know which plants to use and exactly how to use them. It's something we need to learn from them.
Sure. Many of us, our grandparents and whatnot, did know these things, and we've gotten away from it.
Sure.
But the situation today, the way the world is going and the way the environment is being assaulted, we're certainly going to have to return to a lot of those old ways.
A lot of people are. My tours and courses are more popular than they have ever been, and I see all kinds of other environmental people who maybe 10 years ago didn't know and didn't care getting really, really involved. The politicians had better watch out because they and the industrial polluters are not going to be able to destroy our planet. There's enough of us that we're going to stop them.
Wonderful. There was Dr. John Moore. He's a well-known herbalist, and he recently died maybe 3 months ago or so. How did he have any influence on you?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
I studied on my own with field guides. I went to his classes for years. I studied with Bill Greiner, who's a botanist who comes from the academic tradition. There are so many people who've had different backgrounds that have different experiences you can share. Dr. Moore is big, heavy guy, and incredible orator. He came across like a Southern Baptist minister, preaching plants and herbs and environmentalism. It was just so wonderful to be able to study with this person. He grew up in Arkansas. When he was in 3rd grade, they wanted to put him to work in the cotton fields. So he ran away and lived in boxcars through the Depression, learning from the other people there about the folk culture about herbs. And he knew the folk traditions all the way from Central America up to Canada. He was the official Surgeon General of the American Hobo Society, and he really, really knew his stuff. There will never be another person like him. I'm very honored that I had the chance to study with him when he was alive, and I know there are many other people who studied with him who are keeping his traditions alive. We have to look for people who know things, whatever culture, whatever generation, learn from them and use the knowledge. We have so much potential in this world. It's a beautiful, beautiful planet with so many riches. And it's not the financial riches, botanical, knowledge, people, cultural. We really have to go out and get off our rear ends, get away from sitting in front of the TV, except of course for your show, and start doing stuff.
Yes, I noticed you also have some ginkgo biloba here. Huh?
Yes, this is the ginkgo. This is the leaf. Looks sort of like a fan-shaped leaf. This is the nut in the shell. And I will give you a nut out of the shell to try.
Oh, wonderful.
When you find it in the wild, the nut is surrounded by a fruit. The fruit smells absolutely terrible. And this is a very ancient tree. The fruit was probably there to repel dinosaurs. That will never be proven or disproven. Therefore, the nut is very thin. You can just crack it with your teeth like that. And out comes the nut. Very, very delicious, and it's a vasodilator. Increases circulation to the brain. They sell an extract for medicinal purposes in the health food store, where this is used for senility and for memory loss. And it is a very delicious fruit. Of course, the smell you have to get by. You wear rubber gloves to collect. One of my students was doing a wild food dinner, and she collected bags of ginkgos, and it started getting late. So she had to take the New York City subway system home. And she went in the subway with the 2 bags like this, and they smelled, and people started going like this. And then a miracle happened. In the rush hour in the New York City subway, she got a seat.
She got a seat. That's a miracle.
But by a few stops, the whole train was clearing out, and eventually it was just her and the ginkgos.
It's almost as bad as the valerian root, huh?
Yeah. Well, this is a good one for subway goers, too. This is field garlic, and you eat this, and it usually guarantees you a seat, too.
Very good.
It's medicinal, and use the leaves like chives. They smell like chives. This is a very easy one to identify because of the odor. Again, people shouldn't go out picking things without supervision. There are poisonous plants out there, and neither of us are responsible if someone does that and does themselves in.
Steve, you've made a little salad here. Can you sort of explain what it is? And,
it's most of the plants we have here, dandelions and sorrel, and
dandelions and sorrel,
and some chickweed, and some wild mushrooms. And this has hundreds of times the nutrition of a commercial salad. There's no comparison. The plants are growing to survive, so they concentrate the vitamins and minerals. The plants you buy in the store are growing to have more water in them because the middleman makes more money, and many of them are sprayed and grown on depleted soil. So nothing like a wild salad. Thank you. And my pesto dressing on it. And there's some cornbread seasoned with wild herbs. No dairy, no sugar, raisins and black walnuts, and freshly ground cornmeal, sweetened with apple juice.
Steve, we don't have very much time. Would you give me an idea of some of the other things that you were involved in?
I'm always willing to go to nature centers, give talks, or health centers. I'm an artist, and I did the illustrations in my first book, Shoots and Greens of Early Spring, and I'm working on 2 other books that will be available in 1991. I do sculptures, lifelike sculptures modeled after wild mushrooms. I would have some here, but they're all on exhibit at the Long Island Museum of Natural Sciences in Stony Brook. I do the wild food tours in the park Saturdays and Sundays, March to December.
Good.
I'm available for school classes and other children's groups. Anyone who wants to study with me, you can send a stamped self-addressed envelope to 143-25 84th Drive, Apartment 6C, Jamaica, New York 11435, or phone me at 718-291-6825. It's our world, and we have to work together.
Steve, I want to thank you again for being our guest here today.
Thank you for having me on here. This is
really
great.
You shared some valuable information with us, and I'm sure that our viewers would like to maybe see you again sometime. We must get together again on another segment of natural healing. Maybe we can go into a little more depth and describe some of the other things that are available.
Well, I want to thank you for providing this service. People need to learn about natural healing, and most of the TV that's on is really not worth it. But this is an essential service. I'm sure your listeners appreciate what your viewers appreciate what you're doing.
Thanks again, Steve, and I'm going to join you on one of these foraging exhibitions.
Bring your video camera.
I will. So they go throughout the year, by the way?
Up to December, then they start again in March.
Okay.
And we go in all weather, all kinds of different habitats, wetlands, look in cultivated areas. We go